Oh, hello. Welcome. We are live. There are, let's see. Yes, there are 24 and a half hours left in this Lost Kingdom. So, nice that we can get one last live stream in. I was worried that, at some point, barbs stop spawning here. And that is clearly not the case yet. I guess it must be much closer to the deadline when this map starts to get empty and it feels like it's time to go home. So, I hope everyone's doing well today. I messed with the settings a little bit, and so hopefully there's less of a delay. Olahi, hello. Welcome. Hopefully we can do better than a 15 or second or so delay between you all chatting and me responding, because I did mess with the settings a little bit. And the plan today is to do some chaining. Keep the chaining going. And then thought I'd do a bit of a sports center of ROK, where I talk about what else is happening in the game, in the world of Rise of Kingdoms. There is one very interesting KVK going on right now, a Siege of Orleans with 4 kingdoms. And so I did record some footage of that, since I watched it quite a bit. And so I thought I'd, summarize for all of you what's going on there. And then there's also a very big Siege of Orleans with 254, 365, and 1846 that's just starting up. It just got matchmaking found. And so thought I would give you my predictions on that one as well. And I was also going to take a look at whether they have found allies yet in that. As of earlier today, they had not yet found allies in that KVK. Even though there's really not that many combinations that there could be. Yeah, it doesn't look like they have found matchmaking yet. 1365 says they deserve 2 Imperium allies. Okay, I guess this is a very biased meme that I found right at the top of Facebook, but there you go. They are still working it out as far as who's going to be partnered up in that KVK. But yeah, we're going to chain. We're going to do ROK Sports Center. I have some armament chests and some equipment keys to open. Remind me to open the crystal keys this week. I forgot to do them last week. Algebra, welcome. Hope everybody's doing well. And then we'll wrap it up with some Champions of Olympia, since I also have to do that. And whatever other, let's let HDT in. He should be showing up in chat any minute here. And we'll see what else is going on in the game. I don't know if there's any other events that are happening. Let's see. I do need to refresh. I do need to refresh these quests. Hopefully, I hope other officers get into refreshing these quests. I feel like not too many are doing it yet. See, I can probably get rid of this one, since 3 is kind of fine. Cherry, good evening. Hope your week's been good. Yeah, let me get a few more of these refreshed. I need to remember to hop on my alt. I think I'm gonna fail on this one, actually. I think I'm gonna fail on this. Let me jump on here and see if this was possible to do. Yeah. Last day in Lost Kingdom. I'm still just barbing away. We had one player in our alliance say earlier that they're trying to get to 1 billion gold farmed during the KVK. And they said something about not... Oh yeah, I could have gotten this done, but I just didn't... I wasn't around, and so I didn't get this quest done in time. So my secondary alt is like majorly slacking on the Alliance mobilization. I'm 1 for 4, and I'm gonna fail this one as well, so I'll be 1 for 4 on the alt. But it is what it is. All right, let me click all the buttons real quick. Let me let people know in Lost Kingdom chat that I'm live, in case anyone has some last minute thoughts about this KVK that we have just gone through. Oh, and I also... I'm going to do a summary of this map for a video I'm going to do next week about the KVK, because this is my last chance to get that footage before it disappears. Yeah, Alliance mobilization is underway. We're doing fine. You know, we're definitely going to get promoted, no problem. And I'll be curious how we do next time, because I feel like our scoring is decent, but not amazing in this event. You know, there's a bunch of people who haven't done many quests yet. And so it'll be interesting to see if, you know, all of our sort of like main players get all 10 of these done by the time it's over. I feel like people are sort of on pace and sort of behind. And then we just have a bunch of people who haven't really done it at all. Some of these are alts. Some of these are alts, some of these are mains. I actually think the event is good for our alliance, because I do think farm accounts are going to ultimately be really good in alliance mobilization, because there are so many quests where you do have to use either speed ups or AP or gems to get the quest done. And I think it's just going to make total sense on farms to get those things done. You know, it's going to be fine to use some AP to kill barbs real fast on your alt in order to let the entire team complete a few more reward tiers in this thing. It'll be the correct play to do that on your farm. It won't necessarily be the correct thing to do on your main. You know, you're not going to want to like waste a bunch of AP doing that stuff. So I think as this thing goes on, month after month after month, it is going to be useful to just have alts. You know, there's going to be a time, I think, where like the alts are going to get all 10 quests done. They're going to do the higher scoring quests. And it's going to be the mains that are doing the lower scoring gathering type quests. I'm just checking a couple things here. Huh. For some reason. Okay. My channel isn't listed in the Rise of Kingdoms section for being live. I'm not sure what that is up. What's going on with that? Let me actually get in a groove here with these barbs. Algebra, yes. That is going to be great that you are returning to 770. I see Addy, you know, he's trying to lock everybody in. He's trying to lock in those who are already locked in by giving you all membership status in the Discord. So that's very cool. Very cool to see that you're planning to come here. And I think we're going to have a very good recruiting class. It's going to be our best recruiting class in a while. And so very excited to have that happen. And, you know, just hoping that everything works out well, you know? I mean, I think we're a pretty easy group to get along with. And the players we have coming in are all like very good players. And so yeah, hopefully everybody just enjoys their time in 770. And it's cool that people are coming early, so you guys will all have a decent amount of time to get settled in, farm some resources for our next KVK, which I believe our next KVK is going to be roughly at the start of June, and fighting is going to be something like June 20th or so. That's the schedule we have right now for how things are going to go. Oh, Algebra, are you in a Lost Kingdom right now? I assume you are. I assume that you are chaining in a Lost Kingdom. Yeah, it's going to be weird for me. It's going to be weird when this thing is over, because I've been just chaining so much. At least it feels like I've been chaining a lot. I mean, I got 35th. I got 35th overall in honor. Third in the alliance. So I don't know, it just feels like I've been chaining a ton. And so like now, I'm not quite sure. Am I just gonna like play the game less every day? I guess that's the deal. I mean, I do a lot of barb camps when I'm back in the home kingdom. So I still do a lot of grinding in the home kingdom, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to not be chaining barbs all the time. Because I wouldn't say I've been chaining nonstop, but I've been chaining a lot. Even after it's over, I've still got my 2 marches out here chaining. Still out here getting what I can get. I did add up my speed ups the other day, and I was at about 550 speed ups, you know, all in on the relevant speed up categories. Obviously I'm not counting like research and stuff, and I'm not really counting building, but for the rest of them I had basically 550 days of speeds, which is the most I've had at the end of a KVK basically ever. And so it will be interesting to see how many speed ups I go into the next KVK with, and you know what that means as far as how many troops I'm going to be able to convert from tier 4 to tier 5. Oh, algebra only went to 1 runes, has the same amount of HP as or honor points as me. I only missed 1 runes. I only missed 1 runes this whole KVK. Which might be an all-time record for me as well. But yeah, I think I'm going to be able to convert more tier 4 to tier 5 than I ever have before. And one thing I'm toying around with is whether I should build any more tier 5 archers. And my thinking is this. My thinking is that number 1, my Boudica is my slowest march, and it does get cut out. And when the Boudica YSG gets cut out, it is pretty painful. So if I ran just tier 4 on that Boudica, then I could be faster in the field. And also, when I'm reinforcing archer rallies, I could reinforce it with just tier 4, which is what I want to do. Ideally, what I want to be doing is I want to be just joining rallies with tier 4, and then I want to just keep my tier 5 all the time, never lose them, and just always have them for open field stuff. So I think there's some compelling reasons for me to not build any tier 5 archers and just focus on like tier 5 cavalry and infantry. But I'm still toying around with that idea because, you know, Boudica YSG is like a very good march. Oh, and like another reason is because it's going to be the march that I like have purple gear on for the longest. I don't plan on upgrading this to legendary anytime soon. So I'm thinking about just being a tier 5 or tier 4 archer player. The only downside to it is that my Boudica is always an open field. Oh yeah, Algebra's saying I would just keep enough tier 5 to field your 6 marches. Yeah, ideally that would be the case. I just don't think I'm at that point. I think even after my prep for the next KVK, and even after the position I'm in now, I don't think I will get to that point. I mean, for all 6 marches, I would need like 1.6 million tier 5 cavalry. So I don't really see that happening. I also don't mind having all tier 4 on my Attila-Takeda march, because I want the Attila-Takeda march to be the fastest, so that it gets to the enemy first, and so that it swings into the enemy the most, first and the most of any of my marches. Because I want the Attila-Takeda to get targeted. So like I have triple line on the Attila-Takeda, mainly because I just have this very nice armament right here. But this thing is what? This thing is like 10.5, 15.3, like 20.3. I've got like 20.3% of stats on this triple line. Pretty good. But my real goal, I mean, the tier 5 stuff, the speed up stuff, it's just gonna, I think it's just gonna play out as it plays out. You know, I'll have whatever speed ups I have, and I'm gonna have to find one, you know, big event to do a big conversion from tier 4 to tier 5. My real goal in the off season is to figure out ways to get a lot of materials, because basically I want to build 2 Rings of Doom. So I'm up to 101 materials now. And so bare bones, I need to get another 140 materials in the off season so I can forge 2 Rings of Doom before fighting starts. Hello, Lequex. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Dalrux is very good. Yeah, I always do the first level of Dalrux, but I have not looked at whether doing a full Dalrux run is worth it, and I don't even know what the full Dalrux run is. I don't know if it's unlimited, or I would imagine it's capped at some point. What I really do with my gems, honestly, and if anybody thinks that what I'm doing is not correct, do let me know. But basically what I do with my gems is I just buy the materials every week. I just go to the VIP shop and buy materials, and I buy the 24-hour speed ups every week. The speed ups are just something where like I always need speed ups. Speed ups have always been my bottleneck. And the materials, the reason I spend gems in the shop is because, you know, when you buy the VIP shop materials, you're getting exactly what you need. You're getting just the materials. With all these events, with like the egg event and Esmeralda's, and I thought even Dalruk's, you're getting all these other stuff, you know. Hey, the real world. Yeah, I mean, my thing with the egg event is that I'm getting stuff I don't need. You know, I'm getting blueprints, I'm getting resources. I think there's like, I mean, okay, the speed ups are fine. Obviously, I think there's some like research speed ups that are not worth it, but I'm not saying the speed ups I get in egg is not worth it. But I just feel like with the blueprints, I feel like the blueprints are neutering the materials that I'm getting. And if I just need materials, I feel like it's just better value to get them from the shop. Though I admit I have not entirely done the math on that. Like, how many materials do I get for a full like 100 spin egg event versus what I would get in the shop? You might not need it, but it still averages out to be the best for materials, much better value than buying in VIP. All right, I will think about it more. I mean, I've certainly heard that. You know, the egg is like really good value. I'm not sure when I got to the point where I was like, oh, I'm just gonna buy from the shop instead. but I could be wrong. That's kind of why I'm thinking out loud on this. And well, let me ask you this, real world. If I just cared about materials, if I didn't care about blueprints at all, if the blueprints meant nothing to me, what would be better value, the VIP shop or egg? If the blueprints literally meant 0 to me. A full 100 spin egg event equals to about 500 gems per material, not including the rewards from reaching each tier. Interesting. If you play Delrox, you get a ton of speed in RSS on top of the mats at a rate of 650 to 750 gems epic chest. Alright, maybe I am doing it wrong. Maybe I am doing it wrong. Yeah, I've just been like 10 spinning all those events for a while now. I know people say the speed-ups aren't worth it, but I don't know. I don't always chain like this. I don't always chain as much as I do in this event. And I'm just always out of speed-ups. I mean, you know, tough KVKs just destroy your speed-ups because you're just using them all to heal. And I also need tons of troops, right? Like as a garrison captain, I need tons of troops. Even though I'm saying that I want to go all tier 5 on my cav. Even though I'm saying I want to go all tier 5 on my cav, the reality is I'm going to need a ton of tier 4 cav, because when I'm a garrison lead, I'm just throwing all tier 4 in there. I'm just throwing endless tier 4 into my garrisons, and I'm doing the same with the infantry. So like I'm just like nowhere near. I'm nowhere near like optimal as far as troops and speed ups, right? Nowhere close. I don't have anywhere near as many tier 5 as I should have, given my gear, my crystal spending, and I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the last one. Given my gear, my spending, and my resources. And I have a ton of resources. I'm a diligent farmer, so I have the resources to support tier 5. I should be fighting with tier 5 more. At the same time, I also need to build more tier 4 for these garrisons. And I also need to, you know, build up a surplus of speed ups to maybe do a zenith someday, or at the very least, keep getting those 15 and 30 day infantry zenith skins, so that when I am in a big KVK, I'll be able to swap to some of these garrisons that I actually have, these skins that I have, right? Because I don't want to be an infantry garrison with a 5% skin. So I do have, what do I have? I have this one, right? I have a 15 day. I have a 15 day on this skin right here, but I would like to actually pick up another one of these along the way. And I need to have those like speed ups like ready for whenever there is a infantry zenith. I'm gonna do the math on egg. I didn't think it was 500 gems per chest. And then Real World says, but it also depends on your spending. If you're a massive spender and can afford to buy VIP weekly and buy the egg to 100, then do so. Yeah, I forget exactly how much egg is. I want to say it's like 72,000 or something like that. Or maybe that's the wheel. Maybe they're the same. But I don't know that I can do both. I don't know. I don't think I can do VIP and egg, to be honest. But you make some compelling points. Even if it's in the range of 600 gems per material, then I'm being a donk for not I'm being a dog for buying from the VIP shop instead. I'm looking to make a Zeno Flav garrison. Is that needed? Is Zeno Flav needed? Well, algebra. I guess my first question is, how good is your infantry gear? Like, do you have crit? How many crits do you have on your best infantry set? Because where we are at with infantry, just in our alliance, not talking about the Koreans, is that Sanrio Kuma is our main infantry garrison, and he has basically full crit. And then I'm our number 2 infantry garrison, and I do not have full crit. I have full legendary, but none of it is crit. I just have full legendary, no crits. But then the question sort of becomes like, is Zeno Flavius needed? What we found in the last KVK was that Flavius Scipio did better against rallies than the Zeno Flav did. And so then the question becomes, in what situations is a Zeno Flav needed? Because I think the swap is going to be from Flav Scipio when it's just a rally to either Flav Hera or Zeno Hera when the swarm is happening. You know, I don't know. It's hard for me to picture scenarios where Zeno Flav is going to be correct. I'm just not sure. And I say that having just built Flavius myself. And just the reality is I'm going to have to build Hera next. Because I just think those are the 2 infantry garrisons right now. You garrison with no crit? Yeah, real world, I mean, it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. I'm the second best garrison in our alliance, you know? I was the 3rd best, but Duke, the very well-known infantry player Duke, he moved his account to 1079. So yeah, I mean, I did okay. I did okay with my infantry garrison. Let me see if I have some reports. I think I have a couple reports that I can show you to give you like an example of what it looked like. Yeah, actually I have a perfect comparison here. We did like a back-to-back comparison. It was against different rallies, but like, yeah, you can see that like my garrison, my Zeno Flav was just kind of like, it gets the job done, but it's not, it's nothing like what Sonrail does, right? Sonrail's is just like so clean. There's no threat. You feel chill with the superior garrison the whole way, where like the enemy rally goes to yellow first, and it just feels very smooth, right? Whereas mine is kind of like, oh well, the garrison health is going down at the same rate as the rally health. This feels okay-ish. Oh, I can't show you the stats anymore. But yeah, it gets the job done, but it's not like ideal, I guess you could say. I kind of thought it would be better, to be honest. I was kind of disappointed at how my infantry garrison performed. Because I had gone to the point, you know, like I just got the full legendaries. You know, I just got infantry with the full legendaries and the iconics. And I just built the Flavius. So I was like, well, I'm improving my infantry garrison. The armaments are pretty good. The armaments on my Zeno are like, 9.8, 13.8, 14, like 19 to 20 plus this. So it's like 24 It's like 24 or so percent on the armaments for my garrison. Yeah, no hammer, no hammer. Because I'm a cav garrison, real world. I'm a cav garrison, so I have mainly focused on my cav gear. Okay, so Algebra, you have Zeno. Oh, you're gonna stop with Zeno? Yeah, it's I mean, obviously at this point I would just like save your heads, right? Everyone should just be saving their heads until basically we're in KVK. We know what the meta is, and we know all the players that we have, right? I mean, the other reason why it would be hard to give a real good answer about whether you should build Zeno right now is, we don't know what other recruits we might get in. But like, yeah, I mean, obviously, like, you're going to be a good addition, Algebra, if you're like an infantry main. Like, that's going to help us a lot, because I'm just like, my infantry garrison is just like, it gets the job done kind of thing. I mean, you need a lot of garrisons ultimately. Like another player, Ryu Elder, he's one of our officers. He built Flavius, so now he can run Flavius Scipio. And, just to give you all an idea of the level, what an A Kingdom KVK is like, Ryu really doesn't spend that much in the game. He doesn't even do all the pop-ups. He spends, really not that much on Crystal Tech. But he's able to garrison with Zeno, or with Flavius Scipio anyway, because a lot of times you just need a garrison in the flag, especially when you're like building a flag, newly building a flag, or when you're fighting on many fronts at once. You just need a garrison. You need a good garrison that can trade even, or maybe trade a little bit at a bit of a loss, because the enemy is still pressured to actually find a good rally lead and gather up whatever, 12 to 15 people to ball up and attack that flag. Like, it just doesn't happen that often. It simply does not happen that often that the enemy is able to mount up a solid offense against, Ryu's mid Crystal Tech Flavius Scipio, or my 0 crit Flav Scipio, or Zeno Flav. To be honest, I was much more optimistic about Zeno Flav, and you can see that by the fact that, what the hell? I haven't even put talents on Flavius. What the heck? I definitely used him. I used him as a secondary to Joan and as a secondary to Zeno, but I never even set up his talents yet. So, and I've got some okay armaments on him. But basically what I'm saying, Algebra, is that I'm gonna swap. Before we are in KVK, I'm gonna swap Zeno's armaments onto Flavius, because I think he's going to be like the more frequent primary. The other thing, Algebra, talking about, infantry garrisons, right? We got to think what the meta is now, and the meta now is open with the garrison that's strong against rallies, and then swap into the Heracles, right? So Zeno is useful, right? Zeno is useful for you in terms of being a self-sustaining infantry garrison. which means you start with Flavius Scipio, and then when the swarm comes, you swap to your own Zeno Hera. That's going to be simpler execution wise than, you know, your Flav Scipio being in the garrison and then needing to have either my Heraclius or Sanriel's Heraclius waiting nearby to swap. When people can sort of like sustainably do that themselves, that makes things a lot simpler, because there's going to be a lot going on in the situations where we are making those swaps. So in that sense, Zeno does make a lot of sense, actually, as we talk about it more. Yeah, real world. Yeah. As far as how many sets of gear I have, not that many. I mean, that's the issue, right? Like that's kind of why I'm saying I need to focus on materials, is that I just don't have that many sets of gear, right? Here, let me actually find a clump. As I'm talking about how I need to grind and get materials, let me actually find a good clump to chain here. Whatever, I'll do this. Yeah, I have like basically like 2 full sets of legendary, and then I have, what do I have? I have, what the heck? Oh, here we go. I've got 7 legendary accessories. That'll be 9 after the next 2 rings. So I've got 9 legendary accessories, but I basically just have the 2 full legendary sets and then 2 cav pieces here, right? So I've got like 2 full legendary sets and then a couple extra pieces here and there. So I've got a long ways to go. Long ways to go. I mean, here's my number 2 set of infantry gear. Yeah. Why are you using AP tokens after KVK more than gems? More than gems. Why am I using AP tokens after KVK? Well, I'm doing it to chain barbs, right? Obviously, Marauders are better than me chaining 2 barbs, but the thing is, I have ample time to get these chains done, whereas I only have 2 days to go through all my AP on Marauders. I mean, I might be able to do that, you know. More Than Gems event. Why would I use AP during More Than Gems? Are you saying buy an AP during More Than Gems? Real, I feel like you're about to tell me a trick that I literally do not know about. No, I mean today. Oh, is today More Than Gems? Oh, interesting. Oh, I didn't even notice. Yeah, but how can I buy? Can I buy without? I don't think I can buy AP though. Without having 0 potions left, right? Is there a way to spend gems on AP without being empty? Yeah. Yeah, I don't have enough sculpts for all of that, sadly. My account is only 760 days old. Okay, right. Yeah. Right, you don't have Hera yet either, so... Gotcha. Yeah, algebra that. Sorry, I'm like getting ahead of myself a little bit there. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely consider building Hera before Zeno. Which is kind of wild. Because Flavius Hera is very good. You know, Flavius Hera is going to be better in most situations than Zeno Hera. So yeah, I think we are at a point where it's Hera before Zeno. I think that's the case. Do I think Guan Leo is still viable? I don't know, I've been wondering that myself, actually. I have actually been wondering that myself. Because, you know, I might want to like build infantry gear next, like focus on infantry gear and have a second set. And then it would be a question of who do I pair Guan with and who do I pair Scipio with? And I was thinking like, do I go Scipio YSG, Boudica Zhuge Liang, and Guan Leo? Oh, did Leo get a buff? Oh no, Leo doesn't have a buff yet, does he? Oh, or I guess Guan would... I guess they could both get... Yeah, they both could get one soon. I mean, I always thought Zeno or Guan Leo was good. The trades always seemed amazing on him. I never actually ran it. My Leo is still a work in progress. And my Leo is getting there. Scipio, Guan, Sargon, Tariq. No buffs for Guan or Leo. Yeah. I mean, I have Guan Scipio now, but I'm just wondering if I want to go expand to 2 infantry marches because I'm going to be building more infantry gear. You know, it kind of stinks that I'm going to build infantry gear, but then only have 1 infantry field march and then just have the other gear sitting on a garrison captain that I may or may not even be using at the time. But honestly, if Algebra comes to the kingdom and he wants to do some infantry garrisoning in the future, then I could potentially not work on inf gear and just like chill with what I have. I don't know, that's a decision for down the road anyway, because between now and the next KVK, my materials are all going to go to 2 Rings of Doom and 2 Pride of the Khan refines to get that done. Algebra runs Guan Scipio, Sargon Alex, Tariq Martel. Yeah, I mean, Charles is always waiting in the wings, right? Because I could also run, like, Guan Leo or Guan YSG, and then run Charles Scipio. I ran Charles Scipio, what was it, last KVK? No, 2 KVKs ago I ran Charles Scipio. Or no, it was last KVK. Yeah, I ran Charles Scipio and like the trades were always good. Like the trades were always good on that march. So like one path I could go is here, I'm just gonna write a potential path in the chat. But I'm thinking about doing like Guan YSG, Charles Scipio, and Boudica Zhuge. Because I don't really want to like put YSG on the bench I don't really like the idea of putting YSG on the bench. And I feel like Guan YSG could maybe be decent because like people don't really target Guan these days. But yeah, that's the other thing. As Algebra says, I don't like separating Guan and Scipio. They're just made for each other. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. I don't need to be going for these like super mediocre marches that I just listed. I just listed 2 very, very mediocre marches. Guan YSG and Charles Scipio. When I could just stick with Guan Scipio. And then like maybe build Zooge and bench YSG? I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. Because like I said, I'm not gonna I have purple gear on my Archer March like from now until a long time in the future. And so I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. Like, there's a part of me that thinks what's gonna end up happening is that I'm gonna like skip Zooge and just wait for like new cavalry commanders. I don't know. Zooge does seem like so strong though. I don't know. There's just like so much to do in this game, right? It's crazy. Like I've been playing this game for almost 5 years. I've spent a decent amount in the game. But it's like there are still so many things I could do to improve my account. You know, like I still run like Attila-Takeda as my 6th march. You know, I still haven't maxed Guan. Like I'm talking about my Guan. I'm talking about my friggin' Guan. My Guan isn't even maxed. Like my Guan is just 53555. You know, I'm about to finish William, and then I'm gonna do some daily do the daily bundles to finish Guan. Oh, Nevsky Williams definitely still viable. Yeah, Nevsky Williams great. Great. Yeah. Actually, for Champions of Olympia, I was thinking about whether I want to split up the Nevsky Joan and do like Nevsky William and then XY Joan rather than Nevsky Joan XY William. Just to like make them a little bit more balanced, where like just because like Joan's like slightly tankier than William, so I don't know. I was just like kind of thinking that. Because yeah, Nevsky William is like insanely good. Oh, your Guan is the same? Nice. Seba, what's up? Welcome, my man. Favorite hobby? Welcome to the stream. Oh, it's nice to hear that you guys or girls are also like slacking on the Guan. For as long as I've used this guy, I mean, he's one of my highest kill commanders at this point. For as long as I've used this guy, I feel like I've missed out on a lot not having him maxed, just because I use him so much, right? I mean, the speed is nice. The skill damage, 15%. I mean, especially now that I have the Scipio, it would be nice to get this thing done. It would honestly be nice to get this thing done. I never did, you know, he never had a Skolas, so I didn't lose out on that part of it. But yeah, I mean, I've just used the Guan for so long, you kind of like want to get these guys maxed. It's not as egregious as my Saladin, though. My Saladin's low-key, like, my highest kill commander, right? I'm pretty sure he's still ahead of Nevsky. 34.5 million kills. Okay, Nevsky just passed him. Like, you know, 5 minutes ago. Or whatever, Nevsky passed him. But yeah, my Saladin, I've used my Saladin so much and never expertise this dude. Even though his expertise is honestly good. 50% march speed slow compared to a 30% slow, kind of a big deal. It's honestly kind of a big deal. Yeah, Guan is that commander you should expertise but never get around to it. Yeah. Do you guys ever think there's a world where like I should expertise the Saladin? I should buy the Saladin bundles before the Guan ones? They basically have the same, and they basically have about the same amount to go, which is like 160 heads. You ever think there's an argument to finish the Saladin first? I guess if I am committed to finishing the Saladin, which is a little crazy at this point, I could totally finish the Saladin first because his ult is better, or his expertise is better than Guan's. Never until double relic. Well, the thing is, I use Saladin these days. Like I run Saladin William these days, so. You miss out on ally shielding. Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Are there a lot of marches dropping shields these days? Like, who's dropping allied shields? Oh, Scipio does an AoE shield. See, I should know this, but yeah. So Scipio does an AoE shield. I guess that alone is going to be a lot of ally shielding. Is there not a cooldown on his expertise? Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess I'm leaving. See, this is why I should have this guy maxed by now. And Alex does as well. Okay. Yeah, this is one of the things I realized is that if I want to be a better content creator, I do need to develop more knowledge about the skills of all the commanders in this game. Because I don't know, I've always just been a person who I just listen to what other people say and how other people rank commanders. And then I just make decisions off of that because I feel like I'm not really going to be making big mistakes by just like listening to other people. But you know, if I'm going to be giving actual advice to people about commanders, it would be helpful to actually know what their skills do. Before Scipio came out, what I would the hero that I would use, or the commander I would use with Guan, was Richard. If you go back to some of my old videos, you will see Guan Richard in action. I was pretty much like the first person to do Guan Richard. I forget who like gave me that idea, but yeah, I used to run Guan Richard all the time, and it was a cool march, right? It is a cool march in certain ways, right? Richard's slow is amazing. Because I think this, like, because the thing about Richard's slow is that it procs, like, right away. Like, as soon as, I think I'm getting this right. As soon as Richard hits a commander for the first time, it's going to apply that slow right away. So it's kind of nice with, it's a very nice utility. Never Guan Leo, no real world. I never built Alex. I was a Cav player, so I built, you know, Genghis Khan instead of Alex, and never did a 5-5-1-1 Leo either. You know, I just always had like too many other priorities, and so I never really got around to it. So yeah, I used to run like Guan Richard. I ran Guan Richard for multiple KVKs. And it was a very good march if it didn't get targeted, right? Because like Richard's heal is crazy. Richard has an absolutely crazy heal. So there would be fights where you know, all my marches, like all my other marches would be like low health, like low yellow health. And my Guan would still be like full health because no one ever targeted him. They'd always be targeting my Cav marches that were further forward. And so my Guan Richard would just be sitting there at full health while everyone else is low after a long fight. The only problem is when it got targeted, it traded really badly. That's the only problem with that march. But it was you know, it was something that I used for a long time. What am I gonna spend 50k gems on, dude? I don't even know. I didn't even realize More Than Gems was coming. I mean, obviously I screwed up by spending in the VIP shop already. Right, I did not expect More Than Gems because I already bought all this stuff. I like bought it just for no reason, you know. I just bought it because I didn't want to forget. So what am I going to spend 50k gems on? Man, I mean, maybe VIP. I could spend it on State Forum. I mean, Honestly, I probably won't use. I don't think I'm going to use 50k gems. Honestly. I don't think I'm going to use 50k. I don't need gold heads like that. I just don't need gold heads like that. Even though we're talking about all these commanders I need to max and stuff. I don't think I need gold heads that bad. I think I need other stuff way more. I think I just need to do 7k. I think I just need to do 7k. Let me see how many likes we have on the video. Throw a like on the video if you haven't done so. When we get to 12 likes, I will open the armament chests. Really appreciate everybody hanging out. Great conversation in the chat tonight. Awesome to be able to actually think about some of this stuff. Yeah, I mean, you know. And also to have people who know as much about the game as Real World and Algebra do. I certainly do some things in this game very well. You know, I think I'm a good wartime coordinator. I think I have good control of my marches. I think I'm good at coaching players and sort of like, I think I'm a good communicator basically, but I'm not the best like a theory crafter as far as commanders go. That's for sure. That is for sure. This is a good reminder to always do your VIP at the end of the week. Yeah, it's a discipline. It's a discipline. And I'm usually okay about it, but I honestly was just like, did this spitballed calculation that like, oh, More Than Gems was recently. There's no, like, I was like, there's a 0% chance More Than Gems is this week. So I might as well. What was I about to say? There was something I was gonna talk about. Well, at this point, I'm thinking maybe I will talk a little bit about what's going on in some other KVKs. Because I did watch the 1429 KVK against 1671 quite a bit. I watched it on Plato's stream, and I also just watched it on my own a fair bit. So the deal with this map is that it is the western and southern side of the map against the top and the eastern side of the map. And it is basically two Imperiums against two Imperiums. 2268 is allied with 1429, and 1671 is allied with 2755. And at this point, the way this thing looks, right, so basically 2268 fought 2755 in this zone. Even though 2268 could have gone into terrain and helped their allies 1429, which I actually thought that that's what they should do. But as this thing played out, it worked out just fine for the southern side, and it worked out just fine for 1429. 1429 is here in red. They're the HOB, HOM. They are those forts. So 1429, against expectations, 1429 beat 1671 in this zone. And let me just load up a bit of footage from this KVK and just show you a bit of what went on as this thing took place over the last 3 or 4 days. So this is what it looked like the other day. I found this to be the more interesting front. 2268 against 2755. 2755 is this is their first SOC. They're like a very big, active A Kingdom doing SOC for the first time. The player as Boudica, who has like a really big ROK Discord. He's one of the officers in this kingdom. And what happened is that 1671 always had the ability to come into this zone and, you know, work with 2755. And so early on, they were going into this zone as like a secondary thing. They were fighting more in the first zone. They were fighting on the left against 1429, but they would come over here from time to time and fight against 2268. 2268, I think their decision here, in terms of going to the right instead of going to the left and having a 2v2, I think they just wanted to play defense. I think they wanted to like set up this zone, and you know what their goal was. Let me show you the game here. Their goal was to like protect this pass here. Like their objective was to protect this pass here, so that their smaller ally could like get into Kingsland eventually. That was their goal. But I mean, as part of that goal, or a side effect of that goal, is that they get to play defense all the time and get good trades defensively. And it looked to me like they did get good trades quite often. You know, like here 1671 was rallying with Attila-Nevsky. You know, like this is just going to be a good trade for the defense. Like 1671 had the entire field. You know, this was like 2268's downtime. This looks like it's about like what, 11 UTC? So like middle of the night in the US, early morning in Europe. But I mean, if you can just sit on defense and go against an Attila-Nevsky because they're like afraid of some swarm that doesn't even exist, then that's quite good for you. I mean, I guess 1671 at this point did not have an archer rally or an infantry rally available, because either one would have been better than an Attila-Nevsky. I think what you do here is you have to just run the Nevsky Joan or a Burt Nevsky, and you just have to deal with the swarmers. You just have to protect the rally against the swarmers. At this level, you can't be running. You can't run Attila-Nevsky at this level. You just can't run that rally. You just can't. So, I mean, I have a few clips of how things went over the last couple days, but this was like one part of it, right? Where like, the Northern Coalition was able to get double rallies and pressure 2268, but they really didn't, they really just weren't able to make too much hay with it, quite frankly. But, you know, that being said, at that time, 1671 was more focused on the other side of the map. And let me show you. So this is what happened. This is the big thing that happened in this KVK, right? The big thing that happened is that 1429 dropped a fort. They dropped the ZRK fort, in the zone. And this fort drop was so egregious, y'all. This was an egregious fort drop, right? Okay, the purple kingdom, the purple camp are 1671's allies. They're like two smaller A kingdoms with not great kill points. And 1429 dropped this in like US prime, or in like the mid-morning in the US, 19 UTC. The purple camp is like a Japanese, one's a Japanese kingdom, and I'm not sure what the other one is. But this fort drop was ridiculous. And the reason it's ridiculous, let me just zoom back a little bit. Let me just show. Well, okay, basically, here's the deal, right? They could have... Okay, this fort, right? There's a 1292 fort here, and then the actual territory is 1651. They literally could have double rallied this fort at any point. All they had to do was delete this one flag. Like this one flag right here. I need to get like a telestrator. I need to get that old telestrator that Gecko used. But anyway, all 1651 had to do was delete this one flag here. 1292 puts up a flag, and they could have double rallied a fort that's under construction right next to their territory. Okay, like, you can't let that friggin' fort get built. Like, this is just so egregious. And like, and 1651 never deleted this flag. They never even deleted this flag. And ultimately, 1429 got this fort built. They got this fort drop built that could have been double rallied at any point. And then basically they took over the zone. And then basically 1429 took over the entire zone. Because they just got in behind. I mean, you can see right here. You can see, I'm showing you where it started, right? I'm showing you where this fort started. It started right here. And then, like a virus, it extended all into the back lines of like the weaker camp. And then it just became kind of pointless for 1671 to fight here as well. Would Tariq Pakal be an alternative to Attila-Nevsky? Yeah, Tariq Pakal would be better. Like, Tariq Pakal would be a better rally. Especially against Cav, against Jan. That might have been like a Jan Jadwiga, maybe. I'm not really... I'm not exactly sure what the secondary was, but like, yeah, I mean, Tariq Pakal does very well against current Cav garrisons. But yeah, I mean, it's like... So, I mean, this is what the story to me of this KVK has been, right? Like, this was a very interesting KVK, very evenly matched. Stats on the two sides were very, very even. But ultimately 1429 took a dump on 1671's front porch. And when 1671 woke up and saw that lump, they didn't like check their security cameras and see who it was and get revenge. They literally packed up and moved to a different house. I mean, that's literally what happened, right? 1429 took a dump on their front porch, and 1671 moved to a different house. And I don't know how you come back from that. I mean, even though 1671 is going to take over this zone, right? They did a fort drop. They did a fort drop over here, right? I think this happened last night, where they fort dropped over here. They basically did the identical tactic, where they fort dropped where the weaker camp was, and then they used that fort drop to get territory and kind of like attack 2268 from the back. And so 2268, I mean, they're still holding on. They are still holding on. They lost there was a fort here earlier that they lost, but I mean, like, this fort is still 100%. Over here they backforted here, right? This is a back fort. I mean, it looks like most of this stuff is going to go down, right? It looks like most of these forts are going to go down. But then they've got these 2 AM68 forts here that I'm guessing they're going to probably defend both of them. And this fort is still full also. Are they fighting over here? No, it looks like they're not fighting too much right now. But I don't know that it matters. I don't know that 1671 can beat 1429 when 1429 now holds so much free real estate inside 1671's head. Because the thing is, like, when this fort drop happened, right, 1671 could have mobilized some sort of open field resistance that might have inspired their allies to, like, get online and double rally the friggin' thing. So yeah, it seems to me that, like, 1429 is just, like, the stronger of these two Imperiums over here. And what it made me think about is that, you know, just because two Imperiums are the same size and have the same amount of kill points, basically both of these kingdoms have like 1.1 trillion KP. Like, just because their stats are identical does not mean that they are equal in terms of execution. It doesn't mean that they are equal in terms of how many leaders they have, how little downtime they have. There can be massive differences in execution because you're fighting on many fronts at once. And at the end of the day, when you're talking about like a defense versus rally situation, you know, one team is going to be better execution-wise than the other. It's just the case. It has to be the case. And I think when you are the better executing team, that means that over and over again, you just get like a better trade. You may not get a positive trade every single time, but I think teams can tell when you are executing better. You know, your open field is winning the even fights. Your rallies are being canceled at the correct time. Your garrisons are not getting popped. You know, your garrisons are staying in place. And I just think, like, with how many fights take place in these big zones, with how many different fronts are happening, I mean, if you execute better than your enemy, I think you just I think you beat them, you know? I think you just beat them. I will say that I think we are in a pretty defense. The defense has an advantage, I think, in the current meta. I think Heraclius gives the defense a significant advantage. The ability to deal with swarms way better than we've dealt with them in the past is a huge advantage for the defense. And so that's part of the current meta. But I think the other part of the meta is that there are a lot of kingdoms with a lot of power and a lot of KP and a lot of big serious players. But I think, as we saw in this zone here, some kingdoms just execute and fight better than others. 1671 had very significant downtime, and they just didn't work with their weaker allies enough to stop this fort from being dropped. You know, I think that's the other thing. That's the other thing that kingdoms need to think about is, inevitably, in these big Imperium KVKs, which Algebra is asking, will we be joining these crazy Imperiums in the next KVK? I think for us, it's always a question of, you know, who do we get paired with, right? We have, in the past, we've always been paired with kingdoms of our size, but I think in certain pools, registration pools, whether we register for Strife or Orleans or Warriors Unbound, I think there's always the potential to get matched up with these big Imperiums. I mean, I think some of these kingdoms are not that big. I think some of the kingdoms in this KVK that's coming up are not that big. Let me check the size of 2327 and 1945. 2327. Yeah, 2327 is smaller than us. You know, 2327 has less power and much less KP than we have, algebra. And so it is always possible that we will get matched up into a KVK like this, or into the KVK I was just talking about. Again, that a kingdom of our size could get thrown into a KVK like that. But it's also possible that we would be matched up against kingdoms of our size. I think it just totally depends on the I think it just totally depends on the matchmaking and just how it plays out. But like, one thing to think about, I think one thing that these big Imperiums have to think about, but also kingdoms of our size and our capability have to think about, is that you are going to get matched up with some weaker kingdoms, and they're going to be your allies. And I do think the ability to work with those kingdoms, to give them good advice and give them good support, I think it's really important these days. Because, you know, you have like these very strong kingdoms, and then you have these kingdoms that are of similar size but are like way less serious. And you got to be able to work with those less serious kingdoms and bring out the best in them. Because it is often the case that it is the weakest link that not only breaks the chain, but can decide the outcome. Like, the weakest link can decide the outcome. I mean, literally in this Orleans KVK, in both zones, it was the weakest link that was breached. And the weakest link ultimately led to the demise of the stronger ally. It happened in both zones. It was the same tactic, the exact same tactic. A fort drop that can only be accessed by the weaker camp, and then the weaker camp is unable to deal with that fort drop. So people have to figure out how to support these either up and coming or just semi-casual kingdoms that you are paired with, and bring out the best in them. And it's easier said than done. I mean, I'm going to be real with you. It's much easier said than done, right? Like, we in the last heroic anthem we did, we were paired with 2 Korean kingdoms, and our opponents were 3 undefeated kingdoms. You know, so like when it started, we thought we were going to win. You know, we just thought we were so strong, and we're like, hey, well, we've got these 2 Korean allies. Like, that's cool, you know? This should go well. We knew they were undefeated, but we just thought we would win anyway. But at the end of the day, our allies like just really didn't try at all. I don't have the stats handy with me right now. I'm gonna need to find them for some of the videos I'm gonna make. But basically, of our 2 allies in the KVK, like, our kingdom increased our KP by like, I don't know, like 120, or like I don't know, we gained like 120 billion KP as a kingdom in that KVK, something like that. Maybe it was like 80 billion KP, something like that. One of our allies had negative KP. They literally lost KP during the Lost Kingdom because they had so many migrations out. And then the other kingdom gained like 2 billion KP. So we did like 80 billion KP, and then our 2 allies combined to do like negative 8 billion KP. I mean, and that really decided the fight. I mean, we just couldn't recover from that. You know, and there was no amount of coaching or support that we could have given them to change that. So it's an interesting situation right now in ROK for sure. There's definitely a haves versus have-nots meta that's developing. And it's going to decide some of these KVKs, honestly. I mean, I think with this one, with this you know, Monster Orleans that's coming up soon, they still have not figured out the diplomacy on this. What I heard originally was that 1846, 1365, and 1945 were going to ally. And when I heard that matchup, I basically thought that was kind of like the loser side. I thought that was the side that kind of lost in diplomacy and didn't get what they wanted. Because, you know, 1945 is fairly weak. 1302 is quite good. And if I'm not wrong, I believe 1525 is also quite good. Let me check real quick. Let me check real quick here. Yeah, 1525 is also like a strong A kingdom. So even though 1846 and 1365 are two of the three biggest kingdoms, that felt like the losing side. And so in a way, I'm not surprised that they are still debating diplomacy, because I think there are some clearly like weaker kingdoms here and some clearly stronger kingdoms. And these three big boys know the difference between a strong A kingdom and a weak one. And so they are having some very long talks as they fight over getting those strong A's on their side. So I do think it's a big part of the game at this point in these bigger KVKs. Cherry, my Guan is at 5355. Let me see. Yeah, 5355. And I'm gonna try to expertise him soon though. After all these years, ping you in Discord with the KVK stats if you want. Oh, thanks, dude. It's crazy that you have that handy. Why do I not see it? Where'd you ping it? Alliance chat? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we do have the, here, I'll show you the stats. Here we go. Here are the stats for that KVK I was talking about. I mean, look at this. Okay, I was a little off. Our kingdom did 45 billion KP. Our kingdom did 45 billion KP, which is more than each of the camps that we lost to. You know, 2064 is like a crazy strong A kingdom. But yeah, look at our allies. One of our allies did negative 10.5, the other did 5. So it's like you can't, you know, listen, you can't recover from that. Like, you just can't. As well as we fought in this KVK, and we fought very well, this was, you know, arguably our best performance as a kingdom ever. This is right when White Castle and Benny and that group migrated in. So we fought very well against 3 undefeated camps, but you just cannot recover from allies that are this weak. You can't do it. You just cannot do it. The best we could do with that one, like, here's the pro tip on how to deal with that. Here's the pro tip. The best you can do with allies with that, like that, are just poach their best players. Poach their leaders. So we got this guy, we got Whisper from 1164. I think we might have gotten this guy from 1164 also. I think we got Crazy Bear also. These became like 2, you know, we got a bunch of other people too, like this guy. You know, just a bunch. We got a bunch of people from 1164, and I think we got 2 like pretty key leaders. 2 people who become pretty key leaders for the Koreans from that kingdom. Yeah, our MG is capped. Well, it's arranged, right? It's just arranged. So, you know, on this last day, I don't know. Like yesterday, the max was 500k points. This is the goal. These are the goal scores that people will get. But yeah, it's just an arranged. It's an arranged MGE based on contribution for the KVK that just ended. All right, where are we at? Did we get to 12 likes, y'all? All right, we're at 11 likes. I'll throw a like on my burner account to get us to 12. And let me open up these armament chests now. Let me open up the armament chests. I don't have a lot, but I got a fair number. Hey, Poker Channel, how's it going? Poker, I did reply to you, but I also got a little bit more information after I replied to you. I'm just going to write this in chat in case you want to answer it like that, but... My question, Poker Channel, is... how many gold heads have you actually put into Sargon? Have you only put 100 in? Or did you put in 300? Because it was your message was a little bit unclear. So I just wondered how many gold heads did you actually put into Sargon? I think that's going to be the main thing. All right, so let me start opening these formation chests. I'm going to do 5 at a time here. I'm going to go arch formation. No prayers here, just you know, we're just going to open them. See what goes on. Yeah, if you've put 300 gold heads into Sargon, then I would absolutely expertise Sargon. Yes. You know, you've committed a lot to it already, and Sargon is a good commander. Sargon is good. Real world, I go arch because I'm a garrison captain, and so I wanted to get that extra counterattack damage against the swarm. You know, I made this decision before Heraclius came out. I think I may have made a mistake because Heraclius is so good against swarm, and I don't need to like buff my anti-swarm with armaments. But I've already gone down the road. I've already gone down the arch road, so I'm sticking to it. If I'm making a mistake, it's hopefully not a huge one. You know, hopefully at some point they'll actually come out with more normal attack damage commanders, right? I can't imagine they're going to never do normal attack commanders again. Oh, I didn't even look at those other armaments. I just saw they were blue and I didn't even look at them. Anyway, what I'm really looking for is I'm looking for some good cav armaments, ideally in the shield slot. This one's good. Look at this. Look at this one. You know, like 5.2% of damage of stats right there. Pretty good, man. Pretty good. All right. And nothing on that one, but hey, we're off to a nice start here. There we go. Yeah, Poker Channel, I think you're going to do fine with Sargon. I think you'll be fine there. I talked to Jason from Infantry Fortress, and he does rank... Jason does rank Honda ahead of Sargon for open field. Jason actually ranks it... For open field, Jason ranks it Honda is better than Tariq, is better than Sargon. So I just want to put that out there for anybody who's listening. Jason just has one opinion. What is going on here? Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Yeah, let me get you the Discord link. 1 second. Let me get you the Discord link here. No, that's not it. Yeah, Sargon's good in rallies. Sargon seems to do pretty well as a swarmer. And it's a fine open field march. Especially after you've committed 300 gold heads to it. Yeah, I don't know real world. Like I said, I tend to just like handicap what other people are saying. So I know the infantry Discord is pretty biased against Sargon. What Jason said is, let me just read a little bit of what he said. Jason basically just said that Sargon is worse than expected because there was a translation issue with his skills. I'm not exactly sure which skill that refers to, but I assume it's the like whatever it is, the buff or debuff part of his skills. Anyway, let me get back to these armaments here. We already got one good one for infantry, but we need to get something cavalry wise. Okay, this is decent. About 4% of stats on Cav. It may or may not be an upgrade, but it's okay. Nice defense, but not enough. Not enough. All right. Final 5 blue chests. That's okay. I'm not even gonna lock that. I know that's nowhere near an upgrade for me. And nothing on the horn. Alright. Now we're on to the 5 purples. And let's see how we do on these. Alright, 1 inscription. The real world asking, don't you use Wedge for open field? Well, the thing is, real world, at the end of the day, I have to focus on my Garrison armaments. And so I'm opening I don't spend that much on armaments. And so I'm just opening everything as Arch so that I can maximize my chances of getting good Garrison armaments. And you know, so that's also going to apply to the field. I'll show you my armaments. I'll show you my Wedge armaments after this. Like, I'll show you what I've been able to get, like, free to play with no chests. Nothing there. All right, the shield. The shield is the one that I really need to get a good cav armaments on. Let's see how I do. Yeah, that's not going to be enough. That's not going to be enough. That's like 3% of stats. That's not going to be enough. I'm going to lock it because maybe this is an upgrade somewhere, but that's not going to be enough. And then what did I get here? Yeah, not great. 2.9 plus some march speed on the inf, but nothing too much there. Let me just quickly see if that's an upgrade on my cav. Like, is that going to be an upgrade for like XY? I guess not. I guess not. Oh. When did I get this? Yeah, definitely not an upgrade here, right? 3% versus 3.5% of health. Yeah, Arch is definitely better than V. Arch is good. I mean, Arch is good. I guess I must have decided not to go with this instead. This is like 1.5% of stats, or like 1.2% of stats. So 4.5% of stats versus 3.5% health. I wonder why I decided to go with this one instead. Eh. Yeah, I mean, Arch Formation is good. Arch Formation has the extra counterattack. And certainly with the way open field is fought nowadays, yes, people are getting their skill cycles off some of the time, but there are also many very, very quick open field engagements where you're getting only a few turns of hits off, and then either you're retreating or the enemy is retreating. So I think in that meta, having just a little bit of extra normal attack on all your marches it's okay. You know, it's pretty good. And the special armament is, you know, destructive is good. It's not as good as Hunter, but it's still quite good. 3% extra normal attack damage, and a 10% to drain a small amount of rage and get 70% attack on the next attack. So yeah, Arch is pretty good. It's not as good as Wedge. I will fully say it is not as good as Wedge, because skill damage is such a meta in so many ways. But Arch is good. So I'm gonna keep going with it. And let's hopefully get something out of these 3 legendaries here. Uh, 3.1, nothing. 3.4% health, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Alright, that's pretty good. And nothing on that one. Alright, so nothing too crazy on the armaments, but some okay ones. Some okay ones. Now I am going to open up all of my crystal keys. Skill damage is like 60% of your total damage, even more if AoE. At some point I did the calc. At some point I looked at it on a few marches, and I gave it 50-50. I thought normal and skill was 50-50. I forget what exact march I did it on, but I think it was like a pretty like reasonable march. It might have been like Nevsky or something, or like my Cav Garrison. So algebra, I just made it 50-50. I make skill damage 50% and normal attack damage 50%. Poker Channel says, hi, the reason you are seen fighting like you described, i.e. quick skirmish and run, is that it is a natural evolution of what is most effective while not getting injured. People value a hospital right now. Yeah, I mean, I think that's correct, Poker Channel. I do think that's right. It was interesting to watch Plato. It was interesting to watch Plato fight on his stream. He would literally go like 3 minutes of dancing back and forth, and his marches would still be on white health. And that to me is pretty wild. Like I don't fight that way. I'm always going down to yellow health within a couple minutes. But you know, that may be the way things are evolving, is to be even quicker than it was 6 months ago. I'm not sure. I don't know that it's the natural evolution. I don't know that it's the natural evolution. Here, let me open these up and then we can talk about that a little bit longer. All right. So the reason I saved all these crystal chests is because I wanted to wait for the like all the new gear to get in the game, like the leadership gear and the gathering gear. And I'm not sure. I guess you can't get them in these chests yet. Is that was that what I'm seeing? I guess you can't get them in these chests yet. So I don't even know if I should open these. Yeah, I was saving this for like the new. I was saving this for the new gear, but it doesn't look like you can get the gear in these chests. So maybe I'll wait on these. Maybe I'll wait until I'm crafting and then I'll open these equipment chests. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait, y'all. I'm gonna wait, y'all, on those. Yeah, they're not in those chests. I mean, maybe they'll get added later, maybe not, but I wanted to have a chance to get those things so I could get some Vanquisher pops, basically. Alright, so at this point, I am going to get ready to do Champions of Olympia. The real world, to answer your questions, do I have an Archer March? Yes, I have a Boudica YSG. The Boudica YSG is interesting because the gear is very mediocre, but the armaments on this Boudica, check this out. Check this out. This is a sick inscription. 1% less damage. So I'm saying that's like 2% all stats. So this is 13.4% of stats. Plus 5, like 18.4. You know, 21.4% of stats on this Boudica. Oh no, I'm forgetting the archer attack. I forgot this. So like 26.5% of stats on this Boudica. Literally like my best armaments. Literally she has my best armaments. Which is pretty wild. Because I have never been an archer player. As you can see from my gear. Oh yeah, it's rigged. It's absolutely rigged, real world. Whatever armaments you need the least, you get the most. Alright, so I'm gonna play Champions of Olympia now. Let me gear up for that. And hopefully I can move up a little bit. I'm still ranked mad low. And last week I used 2 cav marches, and I think I'm going to do that again this week. Yeah, Algebra, I saw that amazing cav armament you got the other day. That was crazy. That did make me jealous. Somebody told you to, like, I forget what they said, like, use it in this way or that way to make people jealous. I was jealous. I was absolutely jealous. Yeah, my Nevsky has decent armaments. I think my Nevsky's like 23, 24%. I mean, my Nevsky has cohesive, which is like really good. This is like an insanely good armament for open field. Insanely good armament for open field. Like this has got to be worth like 5% of stats on its own. Okay, so I'm gonna use 2 cav marches here. I guess I can put this on the XY. All right, so he's all set. Nevsky's all set. And the other issue I have so this is going to give me 10% overall, whereas this is going to give me 10% overall. Yeah. The other issue I have in COO is I don't have a good castle skin for it. I don't have Twilight Falls, so I have to use like a 5% castle skin. But let me just grab some water, and then I will get started on Champions of Olympia. Thank you all for tuning in, and please throw a like on the video if you haven't done so already. Real World, I'm gonna stream for all these Champions of Olympia matches, and then when I'm done with COO, I'm gonna call it a night. Which I play a fair number of them, and if I get frustrated, then I might play more. You just never know how long the COO session's gonna go. Well, my goal here is to be chill. My goal here is to be chill. It's really just about the rewards at the end of the day, right? All right, let me shift positions a little bit here in my chair. All right. Yeah, I'd love to use the Boudica YSG instead of my unmaxed William with the XY, but oh yeah, real world. Go ahead and just yeah, send me a DM if you can, and I'll add you. Yeah, if anybody else wants to play COO with us, just let me know, and you can jump on in. I am ranked pretty low, so you should be able to get in, and the matches shouldn't be too tough. But honestly, the people who play even at Copper, like, they tend to have like pretty good counts. I guess I was like super slow here, and I should run. Looks like I got the jump on this guy, which is cool. Now his buddy got here. I guess I take this fight. It's like more people will come and I'm like, wear them out? I'm not even sure. All right, so I think we want to go here. That guy looks to be winning. I can come here and clean this up. Oh, the XY got here a little too fast. Maybe I should have waited. Hey Smurf, welcome to the stream. Yeah, really interesting question, Smurf. He's asking, is your KD super stable? Is there an extra layer of diplomacy due to the nature of a Korean side and English side? Yes, our kingdom is very stable at this point. Is there an extra layer of diplomacy? I mean, it is more challenging, right? It is definitely more challenging to have a language barrier there and a cultural barrier there. I mean, I think ultimately, like, our king, captain, she's like a very good leader for the type of kingdom we have here, meaning that she works very well with our English-speaking group. Her English is good. Like, she doesn't like to speak English on voice chat, but she is fine typing English. I mean, ultimately, there has not been a lot of tension, right? There never really has been a lot of tension. If you notice in our kingdom right now, our alliance has king. Our R5 is the king, and basically they gave us king just a day or two ago because it helps us with recruitment a little bit, because people do get nervous. Oh, sorry, I forgot, dude. I'll invite you on the next one. I totally forgot. You know, basically it helps us with recruitment to have king, because players do get nervous. I think a lot of people are sort of turned off by the idea of joining a quote unquote Korean kingdom. But ultimately, like, we're two equal groups. Like, we have always been a very disciplined group, whereas the Koreans, I think for a long time, they were actually like less disciplined than us and maybe less organized than we were. Even though culturally, Koreans are incredibly good at games. And so, you know, we've carried them when they were down. They have carried us when we have been down. And so, like, a lot of trust has built up with the existing leadership group, where it's like not, I like wouldn't say it's like not, I don't think there's an extra layer really, because there's just like not any drama, right? At the end of the day, I feel like if you had two distinct English-speaking groups with their like sort of own agendas and their own thoughts about things, you could potentially need an extra layer of diplomacy there just to, you know, deal with egos and stuff like that. The extra layer comes in just the fact that we are like two separate groups, right? Like, we are genuinely two separate groups. We run things separately. We recruit separately. So there's that extra layer. But with that separation comes two distinct sources of power and sources of productivity, right? We recruit separately. We lead separately. Like, when our people are tired and, you know, need to go to bed or whatever, their leaders are able to then take control. They don't have to deal with running our alliance because we run our alliance. So I think having two separate groups is honestly good. Yes, it does lead to multiple layers, but I actually think it's better, right? I think it's better to have like distinctive groups that do their own things, because it divides the labor up. I threw there. I absolutely threw there because I'm like talking and I'm too stupid to do two things at once. But yeah, Smurf, that was a great question. I love answering stuff like that. All right, we need to turn this one around. I feel like we can actually win this one. I feel like the enemy just sat mid. They had like tons of people mid the entire time. But now they're worn down and healing, so I might as well go mid. Look at this. They are just sitting mid. Like, they are just sitting mid. What the F? They're sitting mid and sending like one person to these flags? Yes, I do have Jadwiga. Dude, this team, the way these guys are playing is wild, man. I'm gonna fight this. I have to fight this. I'm fighting this because even if I lose, we're gonna have teammates come to like help and finish it off, is my thought. Though I did get melted like pretty fast there. Yeah, I have pretty much all the garrison commanders, other than Heraclius and Amonatori and Artemisia. But yeah, I have all like the cav garrisons, the leadership garrisons, and the infantry garrisons. Alright, so he's going there. I guess I'll go here too, just in case there's enemies. Well, I should probably be gambling more, because we're like so far behind. I think the enemy did a good job in this match of like running together. I'm seeing like 6 of them together a lot. I guess I should go back. I mean, when you factor in Crystal Tech, I would say I average like $200 a month. I'm spending a little bit more now because I'm doing the daily special bundles, but I don't always do the daily special bundles. I probably played like really bad in this match, to be honest. I could have probably played better and we might have won this. Yeah, I honestly think the enemy has like played this well. They just keep running together. And I guess we do have a Herman on our team. Yeah, I did not play this one well. Yeah, I mean, real world, it's like, there's nothing else I can really use. My William is not expertised either. Alright, let me get you added here. Oh, you're in 1077. Right on. Oh, swap it. Swap to Scipio? What will be the difference? All right, buddy, let's get some wins here. Let's get closer to silver. We both need to reach silver by May 7th. I do think that COO is the kind of game mode where not using wedge formation is going to hurt me. You know, just because it's like all AoE. It's burst damage, so burst damage type commanders, skill damage based commanders are going to be always meta in this game mode. And I'm always just going to be this sluggish, normal attack damage doing weirdo. Should I go to the thief or should I go to here? Guess I'll go here. Alright, Pepito melted, so Pepito's pretty weak. And the thief walked right to us. Can I join this fight and turn it around? Or do I want to go here? I just want to go here. This seems like more likely. Or am I crazy? I guess I should have gone to the other one. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, I'm going to put major damage on this fire thief, so even though we are losing the flag battle, I think it's going to be even after this fire thief is done. I'm literally doing 100% of the damage to this fire thief. Well, I definitely need to win this fight. Sadly, the buff is gone. However, the good thing is, we grab the flag, and I can unload. Maybe I should have just let my marches die there. I'm not sure. Oh my gosh, we're all like right in the start area. That does not look good for the last minute. But no one's at the fire thief again. So maybe we have a chance? Hell yeah, Cherry. You're gonna beat me to it. I might have it maxed by like the end of June. Something like that. But congrats on... Well, I'll congratulate you when you get there. I know you're not there yet. Alright. Alright, real world, let's take another shot at it. Yeah, that guy from 1846 went ham in that one. Cherry, do you want to get in on these Champions of Olympia matches? No, it's all good, man. I can't talk and play. I can't answer a question about something not related to COO and play COO good. I have to just like talk to myself about COO. Shazad, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Have you started fighting in your KVK, Shazad? I remember you were asking about how many KP you'd be able to get. Has that started up? Yo, is no one gonna grab this flag? What an incredibly bizarre match this has been. I'm just going to stay alive here. I'm going to just stay alive here. I mean, they have so many people mid here that I'm just gonna like fight and keep them from getting it. And hopefully my teammates can get the sides. No soup for you, Hope. And this has potential. This has potential. I guess we'll go over here. I don't know. I don't know what we have control of. We're in Eve of Crusade troop training, still a long way to go. Yeah, Orleans looks like a pretty good map, honestly. Oh my gosh, I almost stopped and didn't return that thing. Yeah, well, good luck, Shazad. I'm sure you are going to meet your KP goals. I forget exactly what marches you said you had, but I feel like they were like a couple of really good like meta cavalry marches, so I think you'll be fine. Oh no! What is happening here? This guy like let this guy grab the apple. Oh my gosh! What a throw! Oh, so he's getting that one. Oh, maybe we can get this. What is this guy doing? What is he doing? Well, we have one person who's AFK, real world. So, it is what it is. Oh my gosh, this is like mad. This is a super aggravating game. We had this thing won. Maybe we'll win anyway. Yeah, this is gonna be tough. We have somebody who's AFK. We would have won, but we have someone who's like straight up AFK. I just see no way for us to get this apple, so we have to somehow take the two sides and still lose. Oh man, this one was frustrating. We had this thing won. Alright, the grind continues. Obviously, I'm going to use the points I get from these matches to buy more AP potions. No, dude, I think we're going to get on a streak, honestly. Like, that was a win. That thing was a 100% win, but we had somebody go AFK for a few minutes and just let someone grab the apple. Like, one march grabbed that apple. I think between the two of us, we have strong enough marches that we will move up. Although you can see that, like, even at this level, right? Like, everyone has, like, meta marches. I think I might be bad too. I don't know what I'm doing that makes me bad at this mode, but I might be bad too. I mean, maybe COO is just like ROK in general, where, you know, truth be told, most kingdoms in this game are like not that good. There really aren't that many kingdoms that like actually play good, that don't make a large number of obvious mistakes. I think the best thing we can do is like run as a group. I honestly think that's like the I honestly think that's the way to do it, is you just like run together as a group more often. I think I go solo way too often. You know, like right here we have like the numbers advantage. And so like this enemy murder ball got completely neutralized. Like 100% neutralized. Oh, I don't need to go there. It's obviously Alright, cool, Cherry. I'll add you on this next one. All right, there we go. All right, Cherry, I will send you an invite. I honestly think we're going to get on a roll here. I'm trying to figure out why my stream is not showing up in like the Lost Kingdom or the Rise of Kingdoms tab on YouTube. What is up with that? Oh, did I select the wrong game? Do I need to select Rise of Kingdoms Lost Crusade, maybe? I'm just going to try to add Sherry one more time. If she doesn't accept in the next minute, we'll fire up another one. I'm pretty sure I have those numbers correct. You see me on it? When I look at like the Rise of Kingdoms Lost Crusade live streams, there's 3 up. There's Redline game. There's Redline. There's someone named Gold Gaming, and there's someone named Sinner. There's only 3 live streams up. Anyway, let's get another dub here. I mean, here's like a perfect example where like 9 of us all ran to the same place. And because the enemy brought 6, it's like a huge win for us. Because we're like basically neutralizing 6 of their marches. They're not going to accomplish anything. And that's just like extremely good. Yeah, yeah. I think maybe I didn't select. Maybe I selected like a different Rise of Kingdoms game. Glad you like the tunes, Real World. This is not going to end well for me. I'm going somewhere else. I'm going somewhere else. Oh, were some of these guys hurt? All right, let's actually beat this Hope guy for once. He's beaten us twice tonight. Alright, so I can save the day over on this flag and crush Boudica's dreams of getting a cap. Alright, we're finally going to beat this guy from 1846 in one of these matches. About damn time. All right. Let me take a quick break here and see if I can edit what game I'm streaming on YouTube so that I get added to the correct filter. It doesn't look like I can change it here. Maybe. Category Gaming. Rise of Kingdoms Lost Crusade. Yeah, I think I might have had it on the wrong game, honestly. Let me see if I show up now. All right, I'm gonna be right back, Real World. I need to take a quick bio break. And Cherry, I'm gonna try to add you one more time. Real World, cool man, thanks. Thanks for the dubs. Yeah, I will be right back, and then I'm gonna play a few more COO matches, because I actually do want to rank up. Alright. I feel primed for a winning streak here. I've been buried deep in the Copper League for way too long. I think the plan with Champions of Olympia is they're going to add this whole almost like they're going to add like the Osiris League of Champions of Olympia, which, you know, I don't think I have any chance of doing well in that, but that will be interesting. I don't know if it'll be a good spectator activity or not. Watching like top level players do COO. I mean, I don't know. It's ultimately their gear is going to be basically equal. Their marches are likely to be equal. And so it's just going to be the analytical decision making about like where to send your marches. You know, once gear is equalized, it becomes just that decision making type of game. Whereas at the level that I'm playing at, I feel like it's actually mostly about gear and commanders and whether those commanders are expertised. And when I say gear, I also mean armaments. And so I don't know that watching high level COO matches is ultimately going to be all that interesting, in all honesty. I think it's going to be the kind of thing people do for the rewards, but I don't know that it's going to get a lot of YouTuber attention. I mean, it really like refers to, or it points out one of the weaknesses ROK has right now, which is that the commanders are kind of boring, actually. Like, everyone builds the exact same commanders. There's no, like, variety. There's no... like, strategy where, like, you build tanky marches, and then your buddy builds DPS marches, and then your other buddy builds support marches. There's just none of that. I mean, Trajan, I think Trajan is in many ways the most interesting commander. The decision about whether to include Trajan in your murder ball or not is almost like the most interesting decision being made in ROK these days. But I just wish there were more of those decisions. I wish there was like a choice to build, you know, if you're like an aggressive player like I am, then I would like to be able to build like tankier marches, whereas someone, you know, who's like a free to play, who like uses one march and kind of like really maximizes like their damage and stuff. I would like those people to be able to, you know, build like glass cannon type marches. But it's just like everyone builds Nevsky, everyone builds Boudica, Scipio, Joan, and there's just no thought to it. There's really no thought to it. I mean, honestly, one of the people who has actually made some choices that are interesting is Cherry, who's here in the chat and hangs out a lot, where she, you know, she basically is not like, doesn't have like insanely good control of her marches, and she knows that, and so she built Pakal Herald, and now she like has a really fun march that she can use all the time in all situations, and she's like very productive with it. And so that's a situation where Cherry made a commander choice based on her own playstyle. And I just wish more of us were able to make choices based on our playstyle. But at the end of the day, the meta commanders are so obvious and so much stronger than the non-meta commanders that everyone has a Nevsky, everyone has a Guan Scipio. And in many ways, it's just like a little bit less interesting than it was a couple years ago. Where like, you know, players used to I used to like do a survey before every KVK where like everyone in the alliance would like message me what they would message me like what commanders they had, and it was like an opportunity for them to ask about like what they should build next. And like I had to like answer everyone differently because everyone had like different commanders. One person might have Saladin, one person might have Guan. Oh my gosh, I'm like talking and like playing bad, I think. Anyway, I'd like ROK to get back to that point where like commander choices actually matter. There's actually skill in what commanders you choose to build, and there's skill in what the alliance as a whole builds. Like you need a certain number of like Joans, like old school Joans out there providing buffs. You need a certain number of Trajans. You need I mean, back when we thought that AoE, that like buffs were like given to lots and lots of marches, I used to think that like you needed a couple of Constantines out there in order to, you know, provide that Constantine buff. Like you wanted that Constantine buff on everybody. Yeah, my marches not being speed tuned is like a little bad here. I guess I do beat this guy 1v1? Or does he have just 2 marches here? Yeah, he only had 2 marches. Yeah, we're getting wrecked. I don't know. I keep getting like outnumbered everywhere. Constantine is really good at Shonen Canyon. I don't know if he's good, honestly. I don't know. I do have Constantine. I mean, part of the reason why I have all these like janky commanders, unmaxed commanders, is because I've built a ton of shitty commanders. You know, like I built Constantine to like be a Garrison in like KVK 2, right? And like, so, and he's been sitting on the bench now for like years. But the thing is, like, we thought for a while in this game, we thought that commanders like old school Joan and Constantine, we thought that they, like, we thought that their AoE spread to like everyone within the circle, right? but there's like a limit. There's like a cap. There's like a three march cap on all these support commanders, which like changes the value proposition of those commanders by a lot. Constantine Trojan still viable? I doubt it. I doubt it. I mean, the problem is that it's just, how do you evaluate? How do you assess the value of it? You're gonna get like bad trades. You're for sure gonna get bad trades. And so it's like, how do you assess the value of Constantine Trajan when you're trading badly, but you are, you know, providing a lot of buffs to your teammates? Like, how do you assess that? After you're done streaming, will you be on Cord? On Discord? I'm probably just gonna like step away for a few minutes. I'm actually pretty tired, so I think I'm gonna sit on the couch for a bit. But feel free to message me. I mean, as Algebra is saying, like, obviously Constantine is good because he does well in Canyon, and I think that is like a very interesting point, and like that is a weird question, right? Like, if Constantine is so good in Canyon, then why wouldn't he be good in open field also? I mean, I don't have like a great counter to that. I don't have a great counter to it. Do I think 5 nukes is best? I do think like nuke marches are the best. Yes, I think like doing quick burst damage is correct. I mean, a lot of people think Trajan is worth being part of that burst, right? Like Adinavo is a Trajan fan. He's like a burst damage fan, but he's also a Trajan fan. I think the meta really is burst damage and aggressiveness. You know, we were saying earlier that somebody was saying earlier that like the natural evolution is for like very quick damage in and out. I don't think that's the natural evolution. I think that you want to have a bunch of people who all aggressively attack at the same time. They ideally target the same march. They burst down a couple marches very fast to give themselves the numerical advantage. And then that aggressiveness continues. I mean, I actually think that's the meta. I don't think the natural evolution is like chip damage dancing at all. I think people play that way, but I don't think that's like the correct way to play. I mean, if you look at like what the best like murder balls do, like 1960 or 2064, they're aggressive. They don't like 1960 and 2064 do not like dance back and forth. They literally go in. They have superior numbers ideally, and they go in. They like all actually attack and they don't retreat. Like I'm pretty sure that's the optimal way to play. In Canyon, you can only be attacked by 2v1 instead of open field, which allows you to do 5 versus 1. Yeah, I think that would be an argument for, yeah, that's a good argument for why 5 burst damage is better than having a Constantine or a Trajan in the mix. Alright, I don't even know what happened in that match. What the heck happened in that one? 1-6-1? HDT, what's up? HDT, if you want to jump in a quick AOO match, I'll throw you an invite here. I got a couple more in me. I've made absolutely no progress at COO once again. I should not let it get to me, but it does. There are some less concerned about sevs and trying to push, while others are more concerned and trying to trade more positively. Yeah, it's you know, people say that the combat in ROK is simple, and it is very simple. We're doing the same things over and over again. But there is complexity in the combat on a team level. In terms of like what your priorities are going to be. Are you going to be a dancer, or are you going to be like a aggressive pusher? Oh, sorry, dude. I think I started it too quick. So like, I mean, even our alliance that's been together for a long time, we still have a long way to go in terms of fighting in the optimal way. And most other alliances are the same way. But like a group that is online, that is all on voice chat, a group where the majority of people are on voice chat, that has the right idea about aggressive open field attacking, those groups honestly have like a big advantage over the typical way teams fight. And so like, we're years into this game. The combat, you may say it's simple, but there are still massive inefficiencies that a team can take advantage of if they actually play correctly. And that's ultimately what this game has going for it. Is that as much as it's a like semi-solved game and a kind of simple game, there's like still so much room for like teams to actually improve the way in which they play. And I just don't think that's going to get old. Alright, this feels like a win. I'm calling this a win. What's up with this like Lost Kingdom closing screen on every AOO match? It's pretty weird. Oh my gosh, there's so many of them here. I think I'm supposed to like die here, honestly. I don't think it makes sense for me to... I think I should have just died instead of like running away. That's fine, Sherry. I think I can get you and HDT in on this next one. Why are these guys just standing here? Like, why is this dude just standing here? Like, this is like why we lose. Like, this is literally why we lose. I'm gonna go middle. We need to get a win here. We badly need to get a win here. If I can kill the Saladin and then kite the Nevsky. Oh, man. How many deads this KVK? I took 1.5 million deads. Which was nice. It was nice to... it's going to be nice to actually be able to progress my account. After 3 tough KVKs in a row where I didn't really progress troop-wise too much. It's going to be nice to actually progress. Oh my gosh, I hope we hold on here. This is looking hairy. I guess we might be okay. We're gonna get that one too. I think we're gonna hold on. Alright, we're gonna hold on. All tier 5, I presume? No, it's like half tier 4. I have a ton of tier 4 troops. Whenever I'm in the garrison, I tried to run like tier 4. I would just like throw full tier 4 marches in the garrison. Alright, I'm gonna send y'all some invites here. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Throw a like on the video if you haven't already. subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying the content. We are wrapping up the Lost Kingdom here in 770. And so I'm going to have some time away from the game. And I am hoping to get a bunch of videos done. I still have 1.5 old KVKs to make videos for. And I'm just hoping to bang out a bunch of videos over the next month or two. You know, the quality, well-edited type videos that people seem to enjoy. And yeah, so definitely subscribe if you want to make sure you don't miss any of it. Oh man, HTT Nation in Fearless Iron. This is value. This is a value teammate right here. Drops the matchmaking, but probably has better marches than me. Just as good a marches as me. Do I ever think about migrating? Not really. Not really. I mean, you never know what arguments could occur. Oh, I think I was talking about that Kingdom 2064 earlier. I'm pretty sure this guy here, 777 Rue, is from 2064. No, I don't really think about migrating. If the YouTube thing gets bigger, if like my channel gets bigger, I could see maybe picking up another account and playing, you know, playing like in another kingdom and like just kind of focusing on like streaming Lost Kingdoms there. I think that would be a lot of fun, like a lot of fun. And I think it would get good views where I could just like play in, like fight in KVK without any leadership responsibilities at all. I could literally just like fight in the open field and play it like as a normal player. I think I would honestly create like really good content for that. But that's also like a big time commitment to like work on another account. So we'll have to see if I ever do that. Damn, we don't have a single flag. I think we're up against a stacked team here, to be honest. Holy smokes. I don't know. I don't know why I use my buffs there. Like, it was a minute plus cooldown. And like, I just don't know why I use those buffs. Cherry, you are younger than me. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of your youth. Oh my gosh, I'm like I'm hitting right click and like not doing anything. Yes, indeed. You are definitely younger than both of us. We actually did make a good comeback here. It was just a little too late. Yeah, they're definitely moving as a group. That is definitely the thing I could do to improve the most, is I need to run with my teammates more. All right. I'm capped out, so I think I'm gonna stop at that one. I might play a little bit off stream later to get my rank up, but I'm gonna stop it there. Looks like we've got what, like one more week of this? I would definitely like to rank up to silver. I've never been this low before. Have a good one, Algebra. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. Been on for over 3 hours. Really appreciate everybody hanging out. Fantastic chat tonight. So interesting. You guys made the stream so much more fun. And we got some decent grinding done. Didn't do a ton of chaining, but did AOO. And yeah, this is gonna be the last stream from the Lost Kingdom for a while. We're gonna have to figure something out for the home kingdom next week. There's gonna be other KVKs going on, so maybe I can do a bit more of a watch party type of stream. And obviously we'll keep grinding Champions of Olympia every time. And we can continue to wonder why I struggle so much at it. Son, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Yeah, gonna wrap it up here. Thank you all, and I will see you on the flip side.